Start cooking at 4 a.m. Her voice cut like glass. My mother-in-law shoved the guest list into my hands. And make sure everything is perfect this time. My husband stood beside her, arms crossed, adding the final sting. Don't disappoint us again. I smiled, sweet, obedient, masking the storm inside me. Of course, I said. But at 3 a.m., I wasn't in the kitchen. I was at the airport. When I first met him, I mistook indifference for strength. He was calm, charming, the kind of man who didn't raise his voice. I thought that meant kindness, control, a safe harbor. His mother welcomed me with a smile sharp enough to draw blood. "We take care of family here," she said. I wanted to believe her. I cooked meals, cleaned dishes, smiled through every jab about my clothes, my weight, my voice. Every insult wrapped in advice. Every criticism followed by, "It's for your own good." And he let it happen. No, worse, he joined in. The betrayal didn't come suddenly. It dripped, slow poison. The way she inspected my cooking like a prison warden. The way he'd laugh when she mocked me. The way both of them acted as if I were hired help, not wife, not partner, not family. Still, I stayed. Because leaving too early would look like weakness. Because revenge isn't served hot. It's served cold, calculated, perfect. That night, as they barked orders for their grand feast, something inside me sharpened. They thought I'd bend until I broke. But I had been planning for months. I kept notes. Every slight, every humiliation, every command they hurled like stones. I waited for the right moment, for the right stage, and they handed it to me. A family gathering of 30, all eyes on the perfect daughter-in-law. The night before, I packed my bags in silence. Passport tucked neatly beside my boarding pass. By midnight, I was dressed, suitcase ready. At 2:45, I walked past the kitchen. Empty counters, silent stove. Not a pot, not a pan touched. At 3 a.m., I called a cab. The driver looked at me through the rearview mirror half asleep. Where to? Airport. Simple, final. While I stood in line for security, they were likely still asleep, smug in their control. By 5 a.m., I was boarding my plane. By 9 a.m., I was in another city, sipping coffee, free for the first time in years. At 10 a.m., their doorbell rang. 30 relatives, dressed for celebration, stomachs empty, waiting for the promised feast. They walked into a kitchen stripped bare of food, silence heavy as betrayal. No pots bubbling, no trays set, just two tyrants blinking at their hungry guests, realizing their perfect puppet had vanished. I didn't need to see it to know how it unfolded. Her face paling as whispers spread. His stammer, excuses tripping over each other. The judgment in every stare, sharp and merciless. She left you? After all that control, she abandoned you? Their empire of superiority crumbled in one morning. Humiliation, public and raw. The one punishment they could never wash off. Revenge isn't always about shouting. Sometimes it's about silence. Sometimes it's about absence. My absence became the loudest statement I ever made. Days later, messages flooded my phone. From him, "Where are you? This isn't funny. You embarrassed me." From her, "You ungrateful girl, after everything we did for you." Ungrateful, the word they always used. As if survival under their roof was a gift. As if humiliation was generosity. I didn't answer. I let them drown in their own echo chamber. I filed for divorce quietly. No dramatic confrontation, no final scream. Just documents, stamped and sealed. Half of everything, mine by law, not by permission. I rented my own apartment, Small, sunlit mine. They expected me to crawl back, beg forgiveness. Instead, I disappeared from their stage, leaving them to face the audience alone. People tell me revenge is better. They're wrong. Revenge is clarity. It isn't about hurting them. It's about removing yourself so they finally choke on the emptiness they created. I used to believe marriage was compromise, that love meant enduring. But love without respect is slavery, and I chose freedom. Sometimes I picture that morning. 30 guests, shifting uncomfortably, whispering about the missing meal. My mother-in-law's hands shaking, realizing she'd have to cook herself for the first time in years. My husband's jaw tightening, fury barely masking humiliation. And then the silence, heavy, undeniable. The realization that I was gone, that they had broken the one person who held their charade together. They weren't feared or respected anymore. They were mocked, pitied, and that sting will outlast any argument. I didn't need to poison their food. I didn't need to scream, cry, or fight. All I had to do was leave. At the right time, in the right way, so they'd never forget it. Now, when I wake up, I don't